So what on earth do the New York Jets have to do to make the playoffs in 2022? It's a complicated question, right? The schedule, injuries, will this guy play? Will this guy be suspended? How do the rookies hold up? Our coaches, Zach Wilson, second-year leap. Yeah, all that's important. But I think if we break it down mathematically, I have a formula for the New York Jets to get in, and it is simple. The New York Jets must win their first 2 games, and I think they're in the postseason next year. They start off with the Cleveland Browns and Baltimore Ravens. And let's talk about why those 2 opponents are really important, and then we'll circle back to see if those games are winnable. Now, first of all, yeah, obviously you start 2-0, that helps mathematically, right? But there's a reason I think the Ravens and Browns specifically are really important games to win right out of the gate. All right, now every year in the NFL, half the teams that made the playoffs the previous year do not return to the postseason the next year. Year over year, it's about half. And you look at the seeding and you'll say, no, that team's got to be in. No way they miss it. But due to injuries or tiebreakers or unforeseen events, half the teams that were in are out the next year. So the flip side of that coin is that now half those playoff seeds are available to teams that were watching from their couch the previous postseason. So the AFC, that's where the Jets play. There are 7 playoff seeds in the AFC. And half of that is 3.5. So let's take the optimistic view and say that 4 teams from last year's AFC playoffs will not be returning to the playoffs this upcoming season. That means there are 4 open seeds. Now, is there room for the Jets among those 4 teams? Let's take a look. These are the AFC teams that did not qualify for the postseason last year. Jets, Dolphins, Chargers, Broncos, Browns, Ravens, Colts, Jaguars, Texans. Okay. Now, right away, I see 2 teams that I think are just undeniably better than the Jets. The Chargers, a top 5 quarterback in my opinion in Justin Herbert, and adding Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson to that secondary, I think they're in. The Denver Broncos had an above-average roster last year. They whooped us with Teddy Bridgewater. Now they add a Hall of Fame signal caller in Russell Wilson. Let's say they're in too. All right. But then at the bottom of this list, I think there are also 2 teams that the New York Jets are just flat out better than them. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. The New York Jets beat both of these teams last year, and I think the Jets have had a better offseason than both of those franchises. So let's call the Jaguars and the Texans out. All right. We're whittling down our crop here. Now, we have 5 teams remaining for 2 available seeds. Is there room for the Jets? These 5 teams are the Dolphins, Colts, Ravens, Browns, and Jets. Okay. I'm going to just say it. I think the Jets are better than the Miami Dolphins. I think we sweep them this year because, my God, at what point does just the law of averages and probability end these ridiculous losing streaks against these divisional opponents? The Dolphins have just whooped our butts the past few seasons, even when the talent level has not been a huge disparity. They've had our number. I think we even that this year, and we sweep the Dolphins, and the Dolphins are out. I do not have such an optimistic feeling about the Colts. I think the Colts are better than the Jets. I think that they're going to be hungry from a disappointing season last year. They're going to be healthier. I actually think Matt Ryan, even at his age, is a slight upgrade under center over Carson Wentz, and they're going to get some wins against those bottom teams in their division. So I think the Dolphins are out, but the Colts are in. So that leaves 1 spot left between the Ravens, Browns, and Jets. And now we see why those first 2 games are so important. Okay, starting off at home against the Ravens. See, we're going to control a lot of our destiny here. Are the Ravens a better team than the Jets? Yes. Will they be slightly favored in that game, and should they be? Yeah, Vegas will probably have about a field goal spread. But man, that is going to be the most electric environment at that stadium. Probably at least since 2015, and maybe even since, the teams that made the playoff runs more than a decade ago. It's going to be 9/11. The city is just going to be alive behind the New York Jets. I think the Ravens are going to be running into a buzzsaw. I think we get the W, and I'm going to be paying a lot of money to be there, so I really hope we do. Okay, I think that's a winnable game. Even if you wouldn't pick the Jets to win it, we can all agree that's a winnable game at home to start the year. All right, now the Cleveland Browns on the road. Well, they got a good roster, and it's on the road. However, will Deshaun Watson be playing quarterback? I think the odds are no. I think he gets a suspension, and it's going to be at least 2 games if he's suspended. So now it's Jacoby Brissett. And if the New York Jets are coming off of a win against the Ravens, they might be slight road favorites against the Jacoby Brissett led Browns. All right, so if we do what I said at the top of the video, we start off 2-0 against the Ravens and the Browns. Now, we essentially have a 2-game lead over both of those teams because that's a tiebreaker, the head-to-head matchup. So now you have 15 games left to go to hold on to a 2-game lead over those two teams. If we play roughly 500 ball, that should be good enough to do it. All right. Whew. Now that I said all that out loud, it feels like a bit of a stretch, but I'm saying there's a chance. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Go Jets.